G'day folks, welcome back to Illusions of Glory. It's the second video. At the start of the second turn, I did a recording the first turn, you can check that out. It's been a very active first turn. Russians, despite suffering a -1 dice roll modifier because of 1914 penalties, they've gone on the offensive in Austria. You can see they've pushed the Austrians back into the mountains, but the Austrians have responded. They've moved 3 armies up from the Serbian front to stop that Russian advance. In addition, the Germans, in an effort to help their Austrian allies, have pushed into Russia. They have really reduced the strength of Russian units in this area. The Russians do have quite a few dead units over here. 2 dead large combat units and 2 core. And in their replacements, they focused on this northern area where the Germans were driving, which meant that they haven't quite made up their losses down here in the south, which is good news for the Austrians. Okay, so at the start of the second turn, cards have been dealt. We have both hands ready to go, and it is the first turn for the Allied player. What are the Allies going to do here? What do they have? Okay, some Russian reinforcements. It'd be good to get them straight away out on the board. Only 1 4-op card, Drive on East Prussia. Now, notice that the Central Powers are at war status 4. They'll go to limited war, and if I don't play that for the event, there's no other cards that can get me to limited war this turn. So it's a bit tough. I want to get to limited war. I need some Russian replacements, but this is the only card that can get me to limited war. There are other cards that will get me some Russian replacements, and for that reason, the rest of this turn, any Allied attack against German units, Central Powers units in Germany, it's a +1, can't be played after fall turn 2, if this card was chosen to start the game. Look, that said, I want to get to limited war, so I'm going to play this for the event. -1 German national will, 2 Allied war status, brings me to 8, and 4 ops because it's yellow. I'm going to put this here as a reminder. Okay, so this is for the rest of the turn game. Any Russian attacks against Germans has a +1 dice roll modifier. In addition, the Russians no longer suffer that penalty. The -1 dice roll modifier penalty for 1914. That was a turn 1 restriction. There are a couple of turn 2 restrictions. Where is it? Where are they? Turns 1 and 2. Turns 1, blah, blah, blah. Trenches still can't be built, so no trenches in turn 2. Those Austrian units still can't attack the Serbians. Can play reinforcements, yeah, so that's about it. So, 4 ops. I want to certainly activate those for movement. How else am I going to respond to these issues? Still no trenches. Okay, I would like to get... I can't see the Russians threatening the Austrian positions here pretty soon. And what I'm thinking is, maybe I'll move these units in Dubno somewhere else. I don't want to move into Stanislav. That gives the Austrians 16 on my forces here. So I'm going to keep this vacant for now. Now I do need to protect Cernovitz, so I'm going to activate this for movement. That's 2. Let's move out of Kovno. Let's actually move into this German territory. Yeah, well, that's actually moving strength down to Tilsit down here. Lomza, Warsaw will hopefully hold. No trenches yet. That's 1, 2, 3. What else can I do? 1, 2, 3. And we'll move out of Tarnople, I guess. Maybe I can put 9 units here. No. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so I've got 4 units activated for movement. I'm definitely moving back into the fort, and then I'm moving 1, 2, 3. So this will be Russian controlled Memel, moving them in. Now they've only got the Germans will have to respond to this. Only 3 corps in the area. These units down here can both reach Königsberg, but that's okay. It'll threaten them to some degree. All right, so they've moved down here. I'm moving to strengthen both Sereth and Cernowitz. Put a full strength unit in Cernowitz and one, two. Now that is a mountain, so I don't need cavalry over there. So cavalry, I might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this leaves this stack here. And you can see these are all fully stacked. No, they're not. I've got a unit down here. Let's bring a full strength army, 1, 2, 3 down to here. And freeze up my cavalry to move. You know what? I might just keep a reserve in place, like so. Is that the best thing to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's hold them in Lutsk. It's a safe move. Actually, I need cavalry up in the north. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put them both there. And I'll move the army down to Brody. Because that's a good choke point there, leading to both forts. Okay, that's the first Allied turn done. It was an other event, which leads us to the first central. Oh, did I roll for MOs? That was last turn. No, did I roll for MOs? Yes, I did. I did. Okay, German turn. Geez, I got a terrible hand. Pretty sure Königsberg's a supply source, so I can build some German reinforcements and throw them out straight away. So let's do this. And let's find these rare German units. Okay, force pool, here we go. It is card 12, so we can look here at card 12, and these are the reinforcements we get. I'm going to place my reserve units straight into Königsberg and my new cavalry force in Breslau. Does put Insterburg under a bit of pressure, but they're only cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that is played as the event, and that was German reinforcements. And the Allies see this opportunity to play their own. Well, do they want to play reinforcements now, or do they want to smash Insterburg while they can? Look, there's an opportunity to kill off a few German corps, so let's try and do that. So, what card? I could play Prittwitz for the event. Can't be played if Hindenburg and Ludendorff in command. I don't think I've played Hindenburg and Ludendorff yet. Is there an event log? I don't think there is. So I'd like to play Prittwitz because I'm pretty sure they haven't taken command, right? Yeah, it's still in the draw deck. Or discard pile, I'm pretty sure. There it is. All right, so I can play Prittwitz. For the rest of the turn, activation of any space containing a German large combat unit, and that'll get -1 to German national will. Any stack containing a German large combat unit is +1 ops. So it's going to be very expensive for the Germans to activate their units and bring them to the front. That's about it. It's a pretty minor event, but it does get that 3 ops card out of my hand for the future. Bit of deck weeding. And that was another event. So, it's going to be costly for the Germans to activate their stacks if that's what they want to do. 2, 3, 4. But it kind of is what they want to do. Yeah. Well, they can't, to be honest. They're kind of... All right, let's focus our attention on... geez, what semi-German reinforcement cards. Let's try this one for 2 ops. 2 ops, and I'm going to focus on Serbia now. So we're going to attack and attack. All right, so this is in the mountains. We have got 12 on 6 in the mountains. My 12 goes down to 9 to 11. Yeah, there's no modifiers. Okay. No cavalry, just the mountains. That's it. Versus the Serbian 6. What else? That's it. Serbian 6, mountains, no other modifiers. It's not winter. Do the Germans, Central Powers, want to play any combat cards? Doesn't include a German unit. Doesn't include a Russian unit. So no. Do the Allies want to play any combat cards? Battle for Warsaw. It is a Central Powers attack. It's not against a fort. It doesn't include in no. So no combat cards. So we're just looking at 9 to 11 versus 6. All right. So Central Powers first, then the Allies. Oh, geez. 9 to 11. So I've got 7 and 5. 7 versus 5. So the Central Powers will win that. It'll be devastating. So we're going to have to 1, 2, 3, 4, replace it, and then 5, 6, 7. And they're going to take the core off to cancel the retreat. Meanwhile, the Austrians suffer 5. So they're going to have to remove a core. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and replace it. 5. Now that did kill off an Austrian corps, which does reduce their troop quality. Serbian troop quality, you can see we only track some nations' troop quality, not the Serbians. Okay, so yes, the Austrians won that, but they cancelled the retreat because they're in the Serbians cancelled the retreat because they're in the mountain terrain, and you can cancel a retreat in mountains. But they're weakened, and they're looking at 10 on 3. So another Austrian attack could be quite painful. Okay, so that was, what was that, ops, wasn't it? So Central Powers ops. Back to the Allied hand, and they would like to strengthen this hex and try and hold it, and try and really slow down the Austrians as much as possible. So, how do we do this? I think I'll play this card. Yep, so 3 ops. We're going to say 1, 2, 3. Allied attack against Central Power units in Germany gets +1. Yep, so that's what we're looking at here. So this should be quite devastating. Let's do the Serbian movement first. 1, 2, just to strengthen that mountain defense a little bit. And then we move up here for the attack. The Allies, Central Power attack, -1. No combat cards for the Allies. Central Powers attack, an Allied attack that includes a Russian unit. So I could play this to give the Russians -1, but to be honest, I don't think it's going to really turn the tide of that battle. We're looking at 4 small factors. A -1 to the Russian 12 is still going to hurt a heck of a lot and likely wipe me out. Well, maybe it won't wipe me out. He's a tough core, but look, I don't have a good hand. I'm not going to play any combat cards. So 12 on 4. The Russians could attempt a flank. In fact, they will, because worst case, they fail and they do a little bit of, the Germans do a little bit of damage. Best case, they will wipe them out. They could really wipe them out. All right, so flanking attempt needing a pinning unit, flanking unit, not next to any other unit, so +1. So I need 3 or more. That's success. So now the Russians will attack first. They'll fire at 12. 6 is 7 factors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that is ignored. They will fire back on 1. I don't think that's going to do any damage. 1, 4 is a 1 loss factor, which does no impact to the Russians. So they have to retreat 2 spaces now. 1, 2, back to Tannenberg. And we can have a Russian advance into that space. So the Russians have invaded Germany. That's not expected. 1 minute they're on the back foot in Alita, and the next minute they've kind of haven't responded to the threat. The Russians move back to the front, and yeah, I'm just double checking setup. Yep, all good. I thought maybe there's some units in Riga, but I was wrong. Okay, yeah, done. Allied attack +1. Any space containing a German unit. So it's actually +2. The rest of this turn, any Allied attack against units in Germany, +1. For the rest of this turn, activation. Oh no, sorry, activation of German stacks is +1. All right, so now that was. What did we do there? That was ops, right? We played 3 ops. So that was my third action. Central powers now. It's tough for them to respond. They can't activate 2 spaces. What do I do? Oh, geez, Chemizel is in a bit of trouble. Okay, so we might try and activate things down in the south. Let's keep the pressure on Serbia. Let's... what do we do? What do we do? Yeah, we've got to keep the pressure on Serbia. It's 5. I've got 10. So I will play this for 3 ops. And I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. We're going to move to attack, try and retake Cernovitz. Put a lot of pressure on the Russians here, who risk being out of supply if they don't respond. But down here we've got 10 on 5. 5? 4. Only 4. 10 on 4. In the mountains. So my 10 goes down to 6 to 8. So we're looking at 6 to 8. None of the cards I played add any modifiers. No German units, yeah, so I didn't, no extra costs there. So the mountains will shift at 1 to the left. As I mentioned, 6 to 8, that's it. Versus the Serbian defense of 4. I am using mountains. I forgot about that. So mountains are -1. Right, so 6 to 8 -1. I'm not using mountain, I'm using the roads rather than railroads. So -1, 1 is going to be a loss factor of 3 versus the Serbian 4, 2 is 2. So 3 loss factors versus 2. What I'm going to do is flip them. That's a 2, and they have to satisfy 3. We'll go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to kill off the core to cancel the retreat again. Okay, you can see the Serbians desperately hanging on. They're hanging on very well, but their armies are wearing thin. All right, and they've done that. So the Austrians won that combat. The Serbians cancelled the retreat. That was just an ops card back over to the Allied player. Um, Replacements. The Allies need replacements. So as much as I'd like to play this, I need the Allied replacements. So I'm going to play that for replacements, and I'm going to give myself Allied. There's no Italians yet, and 2 Russian replacements. That's really unfortunate, because I'd love to play that event, but I can't. All right, now the Germans, as I said, if your opponent plays replacements, you should generally follow suit. And let's play this one. Actually, no, can't be played when I'm at total. Let's play this one for replacements. 1 Austrian, 2 German. Done. And done. Allied turn 5. Allied turn 5, they are going to what can they do? Do Montenegrins counter Serbians for activation? No, apparently they can't. Not like I can see. They can be treated as one nationality for activation. Yes, they can. Rule 9.4.2b. So I'm going to activate. I'm losing track of things. Where am I up to? Action card 5. Yep. Allied hand. What card am I going to play? Oh, geez, it's terrible. Look. Instead of doing that, let's get some Russian reinforce. Oh, okay. I'm worried about losing Serbia. I feel I should move to defend it. And I've got to move out of here because I can't hold there. Wow. Okay, so I've got to play. I'll play Battle for Warsaw for 2 ops. I'll play 1, and then 2, and all I'm going to do is move the Montenegrin unit up there because it's got a better loss factor. It'll hopefully soak up some damage. And then these guys are just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Frustrating, but I don't have better cards at the moment. Ideally, I'd hold this, but turn's almost over, and I can't. I've got to hold. So I really want to hold the Serbians in place. So that's just some basic ops for the Allies. Central Powers, look at their hand. They've still got a bad hand, but it seems to be slightly better. Now I've played German reinforcements. I'm going to save that for next turn. 2 actions left. I'm going to play. Yep, keep the pressure on. We're going to attack and attack. Keep the pressure on. So we've got 9 against 3. Okay, 9 against 3. 9 goes down to 6 to 8. I'm using roads, so it's -1 versus 3 with no modifier and no combat cards. So that's it. 6 to 8 -1. Oh, okay, is 3. So 3 loss factors versus, what was it, 6 to 8 versus 3. 3, 5 is 3. 3 on 3. The Serbians will continue to hold. Unfortunately, though, we have to take off an army to satisfy our losses. So that gets removed, replaced with a Serbian core, which is then flipped. So 1, 2, and then 3. And the Austrians lose 3 as well. So they'll go 1, 2, 3. So it is definitely costing them. The Serbians are doing very well just to hold. No retreat needed, so no further losses. I think the Serbians should be very happy with that. We're almost at the end of 1914 and they're holding with the replacements on the way. Okay, so now we have 2 Central Powers cards. Left. Why is that? Did I play a combat card at some stage? I can't even remember. No, hold on, that was Central Powers action. Now it's the last Allied turn. And now I have to play these Russian reinforcements. I've got to get them on the board. So card number 12 brings on these units. I'm going to bring on 2 into Riga. And then 1 into Brest-Litovsk. And then 1 more into Riga. Okay. Russian reinforcements have entered. Last Central Powers card. I can't play German reinforcements, saving that for next turn, which leaves me with this card. I think I'll really keep the pressure up on the Serbians. So 3 ops. I'm going to go 1, 2, and what have I got here? 2 new armies. Let's take back Senovitz. All right. So I'll attack here. I've got 9 on 4, no terrain. No terrain benefits, basically. No combat cards. No other modifiers. So it's basically 9 on 4. 9, 2 is a 4. And then 4, 2 is a 2. So the Austrians recapture it. 2. So 4 loss factors. 1, 2. Oh, they got +1. +1 because they've got a cavalry unit there. So what they rolled? They rolled 4, 2, goes up to a 3. So it's actually 4, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And they have to retreat 1 space. And then they have to suffer 3. They suffer 2, they can't satisfy the rest. The others will now advance in. They have recaptured Cernovitz, which gives them back a victory point. Back a victory point. They should have lost 2 national will. Did I do that? And now they gain it back for recapturing a home area. Like I said, those little things are easy to forget. Got to remember. All right. And then an attack on Serbia down here. I've got now, I've been reduced to 7. The Serbians only got 2. 7 versus 2. My 7 will go down to 5. So that's 5 -1 for the roads versus 2. So a 5, 3 is 3. And a 2, 2 is just 1. So 2 loss factors versus 1 loss factor. For 2, I'm going to take off the Montenegrins. They're going to absorb that. I get a +1 for the Montenegrins defending the mountains. So it's actually 2, 3, which is 2. 2 and 2 loss factors. Okay, good. Those Montenegrins are good. I am going to take the Montenegrins off. They're permanently eliminated now. They're yellow, they can't be rebuilt. The Austrians are just going to flip 1 unit and scream in frustration that they haven't been able to push and gain a single piece of Serbian territory. They've really, really smashed the Serbians. They're going to get 1 replacement point. They'll rebuild that army most likely. But yeah, the Montenegrins are gone now. So it's happening. It's just being very costly. All right, and that was the final turn. It was ops. Yep, that's the end of turn 2. I'll double check the sequence of play. Okay. Where is it? Sequence of play, other tables. Okay. Attrition, no sieges, no war status. Both sides now move to limited war. So we shuffle into the deck, and we shuffle into the deck. They're shuffled. And we do the same with these. Discards are shuffled into the deck. Limited war, shuffled into the deck. Hopefully they're shuffled. Both sides can discard combat cards. So let's just make sure I do this correctly. Replacements before I do that. Replacements. So allies first. We've got 1 allied. Flip them back up to strength. And 2 Russian. Okay, where are the Russians? 1. And that reserve unit at Brody, 2. Okay. Then we've got 1 Austro-Hungarian and 2 German. 1 Austro-Hungarian down here in Serbia and 2 German. 2 German. Okay, we're going to rebuild one of these. 1.5, and they're at full strength. Okay, so the German's doing pretty well. All right, replacements have been taken. Draw strategy cards, discard combat cards, draw cards. So I'll fill up their hands off screen. Done and done. All right, end of turn. So we can advance the turn marker, which is down here. It is now winter, turn 3, winter 1915. We are prone to severe weather checks, which means the Serbians have held on. This is going to be hard for the Austrians to push in here during this turn. Mountains plus severe weather checks. Did I satisfy the German MO? I don't think the Germans attacked, did they? So no, we did not. So that gives the Allies a victory point. That's terrible. That's a big mistake. You've got to meet your MOs, and it was such an easy one. Well, it wasn't actually because of these 2. So that gets sent to discard, that gets sent to discard. And mandatory offensives, Allies roll a die. 5 gives them Italy, not in the war yet, and a 3 gives them Germany again, but without that activation penalty this turn. Right, so now we can get started with the Allied turn. What are they going to do first? Let's look at their hand. All right. Royal Navy blockade. Good event to get out. Russian reinforcements. Get some good Russian reinforcements on the board. Polivanov. Brilliant. 3 RPs to immediately... So basically, this is the card that in my first say was desperately needed by the Allied player. It took him like 4 turns to get drawn it, and here we have the Allied player being drawn this card on the first turn. It cancels the effect of Russian war material, which is devastating. Having said that, I don't have 3 Russian RPs, so I would like to spend 3 Russian RPs. Can't be played before Serbian collapse. Stavka. All future Allied defences are +1. Great retreat. I don't feel like I need to retreat right now. Effective U-boat in the Mediterranean is cancelled. I think I might just start. I'd love to play some combat. So Stavka for combat maybe. Hit the Germans. I could hit them here. I could hit maybe the Austrians down here. Just do some basic combat. Oh yeah, Chamizel. Okay, here's what's going to happen. 4 ops. And I'm going to go attack, attack on Chamizel. So we're heading this way. And then I'm going to attack the Germans. Down here, that's 3. And then I'm going to move these guys. Let's get them to the front. So movement first, we'll go 1, 2, 1, oh, where do I go? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll occupy that just in case I get forced out of Tilsit. And 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. Happy with that move. Yep, Serbians I'm not going to do anything more with. They're just going to slowly pull back. Okay. Combat. We've got 6 on 3 here. Any allied combat cards that I want to use? No. Are there any German combat cards that I want to use? I could use this for -1 dice roll modifier, but I won't. No, I won't. I won't use it. So looking at 6 on 3, CRT, 6 is 5 versus 3 is 2. 5 versus 2. Okay, so German losses, 5. They flip this, they can't satisfy the rest, they have to retreat. And then 2, the Russians will flip 1. That's all. The Germans now have to retreat 2 spaces. I'll go 1, 2, back to there. And the Russians will, very tempting to advance, but I know they'll get smashed in a counterattack. So they're not going to advance into Allenstein. All they're trying to do here is take some losses so they can rebuild them with that event. Down here in the south, 6, 7, 8 plus 1 for the Austrians versus 14. Do they have cavalry? Yes, they do. Plus 1. I could attempt a flank attack, but this is a bit of a risky one because the 8 plus 1 could do a lot of damage before I encounter. And again, I don't mind taking a bit of losses. So, look, it'd be 3 plus. It's so tempting. So tempting. All right, what's the worst? Let's have a look at this. What's the worst that an 8 could do? The worst that an 8 could do is 5 losses. Let's attempt a flank, eh? I'm going to be reduced 14. I might be reduced to 12, which is pretty much the same. Yeah, let's try it. Let's flank. So I need 3 or more. Success. So now, down here, the Russians will attack Chamizel first. All right, 14 plus 1, 5, 6. Oh, that's a 7. So this is going to hurt the Austrians. 1, 2. 3, 4. They're replaced. And then 5, 6, 7. Russian troop quality, Austrian troop quality comes down, and we're left with a single cavalry corps. Like I said, devastating. They counterattack on the 1 plus 1 small unit, which is 6, which does inflict 2 steps of losses. Look, the Russians will flip 1 unit, and then they have to retreat 2 spaces. So we'll go 1, 2, and then the Russians will advance 1, and they'll stop there, lay siege to Chamizel. If they can destroy this fort early, geez, I tell you what, maybe I should have tried to build some. What did I do in the first turn? Oh, sorry. This is the first turn, isn't it? Yeah. Didn't even give them a chance to build trenches. This is the first activation you could build trenches, and yep. So this is besieged. I need 1 unit there to besiege it. The other 2 can continue moving. tempting, but I think I'll hold there and keep them together as a big, powerful stack. I could move on, I think, pretty sure. 1 unit to lay siege to the fort, the other 2 to advance, but I think they're threatening enough. It's going to force the Austrians to retreat. I can attack Chemizl now, next turn. All right, that's a good opening by the Russians. Everything's done. We now go to the Central Powers hand. Mackinson is brilliant. What else do we have? We've got a lot of limited war cards. Some reinforcements. Okay, I've got to respond to this threat here. I can't just 1, 2, 3. Oh wow, and it's really difficult to respond to because of the road networks. I think I'm going to have to pull back away from Jaroslav here. I can 1, 2, 3, 4. I can bring some Germans down to here to help out and let the Austrians focus on this area around here. Otherwise, I can't really get... Oh, I can move the... 1, 2, 3. I can move the Germans into Krakow, perhaps, and get them to hold the southern... That might be a good idea, actually. Central Powers hand... 3 ops, I think. 3 ops using that combat card. Not a great hand. Movement, movement, and movement. So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. And then the Germans over here are going to go 1, 2, 3. I might just hold them there like that and move the other guys. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, move them up into here to attack Warsaw. Or at least threaten Warsaw. So holding Krakow, there's a water barrier there. So we'll keep the Germans in Krakow. I am a bit worried about this path through here. So I'm going to block that. All right, and really put pressure on Warsaw. Okay, done. Done. First thing was ops. So, Allied second turn. What do they want to do? Three RPs to repair Russian units. I could do this now. I've got 1.5. Where's the half? 1, 2.5. Maybe just a little bit more combat. Look, these cards are just so low. Allied player receives 2 RPs to immediately repair Allied player allied units on the map board, which could include the Serbians. I can throw them into Belgrade. That would be brilliant. I really want to destroy Chemizl as well. Look, 3 ops. I've got to play the 3 ops. 3 ops. I'm going to activate this stack for attack to attack the fort they're in. What else around here? Okay, I'm going to start trying to entrench. So we're going to entrench. We're going to try and entrench. So move, attack. All right. So 3 or less to entrench. Top one, bottom one. fail. And now we we try to attack. It's pretty much guaranteed 9 large, which does 4 damage, which destroys the fort. Shemizal is captured. That's a victory point for the Allies, and it is 2 national will loss for the Austrians. They can still counterattack, so they counterattack on 3 on the small unit, which is 1 loss factor, which does nothing to the Russian attackers. So they've captured Shemizal. Control marker can be placed on the very bottom of all that. Okay, what happened to it? Yep, did the control marker go down? I don't know. Yep, there it is. Okay, good. All these should have control markers as well. I'm just being a bit lazy. While there are units there, it's not needed really. All right, that's the end of the second Allied player turn. Another good ops phase. Russians doing really well here. How long will it last? All right, how are the Central Powers going to respond? I can tell you they really want to clear out Serbia. I want to keep, they've got 7 against 2 again. Geez, 3 German reinforcement cards. I can't use them all. That can't be played before turn 6. So let's play this for, I think, ops. Is anything desperate up here? Apart from these guys potentially being cut off? No. Nothing is desperate. A lot of units potentially being cut off, but I really want to keep the pressure up on the Serbians. So we're going to go for it. I'm going to spend, where was it? That 2-op German reinforcement card just for an attack and an attack on the Serbians. 7, no combat cards. Do the Allies want to play any combat cards? No, they don't have any. 7 on 2 in the mountains. My 7 and -1, so it goes down to 6 to 8. -1 is 1. Loss factor of 3 versus their 2, 5, which is 3. So another tie. But it's a problem for the Serbians. They lose another strength and 1, 2, and they have to lose that core. And the Austrians lose 3 as well. So they're going to have to go 1, 2, replace it. You can see Austrian losses building up and then flip that as well. So they're down to 6. That also causes a loss of Austrian troop quality. Okay, and the Serbians still hold. It's amazing. Yeah. It's a grind. They've got these armies here. Let's bring these armies down to help out. An army sitting in Budapest, which could have helped. Okay, so that was second, and it was ops. Brings us back to the third turn, Allies. Where was I? I've captured Shemizal. Serbians are slowly losing ground, and they're not worrying too much about what's happening. I could pull that army back. Here we go. I'm going to play Convoy for the event. Allied player receives 2 RPs to immediately repair Allied units. So I'm going to flip the army back. I'm going to rebuild this Serbian army in Belgrade. Place a convoy marker on its space. I think that's the convoy marker here. Effect of U-boats in the Mediterranean is cancelled. Plays an event, 1 war status for the Allies, 1 combined war status, and that was an Allied event. All right, what are the Germans going to do? How are they going to respond to this? Or anything? How are they going to respond to what's happening? They've lost this big fort of Shemizal. I could try to take Warsaw, 10 on 10. I do outflank it. I could attempt a flank, but I want to keep the pressure down in the south. So Actually, you know what? I've got all these German reinforcements. Let's play one of them. Card number 14. Card 14, which is this one here. So we'll get 1, 2. Oh, you know what? 3, and I'll get some another German army in Vienna down here. Yep. Okay. Reinforcement card played. Event. German reinforcements done. Allied turn 4. So now the Serbians can bring this army around, possibly, or they can pull back. Interesting. They can pull back here and then pull back away from Belgrade. No, look, I think while I'm holding here, this is a really great place to hold. You know, I might do some strategic redeployment. What have the Allies got to do some SRs? The Serbs return. I don't need this right now. Serbian collapse hasn't happened. I'm going to use this for SR and do 3 strategic redeployments. Small combat unit redeploying up into here. That's 1. Then I've got my cavalry down here, kind of behind the lines. They're going to go... oh, wait, I better double check. Yep, good thing I checked. Okay, so you cannot send small combat units across mixed gauge railroads. They can, however, use roads. I've just noticed there's a road here. So they can go up here and then fly up here to this. Oh, they can't use mixed gauge. That's all mixed gauge. Okay, so I'll put them in Grodno. That's 2. What else? And then I might bring some Russian cavalry from the reserve box into that space there in the clear, just in case there's an attempted attack. All right, 3 SRs. Done. Yeah, you can see I go straight down to Serbia. Austrians now. Oh, Austrians get some reinforcement. Oh, look. Let's do some movement. Actually, how are my replacements going? Forces are looking pretty strong. Austrians looking pretty weak. Let's do some movement. Going to do 3 ops. 3 ops. I'm going to move. I'm going to, where these Austrians go, move. And I am going to move to entrench. All right, so let's try the entrenching first. 1 to 3, success. Such an important space to entrench. Enables us to cancel retreats from those areas. All right, movement down here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the Germans up here. 1, 2, 3. No, we'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Straight into here, maximizing the pressure on Warsaw. Yep. Oh, MOs. Germans must attack this turn. Cannot forget. All right. And what do we got here? We got no Allied MO. All right. So Allied turn 5. They see this, and they want to retrench Warsaw and Lomza. I think I'm going to spend this for the ops. I'm reluctant to do so, but I think I'm going to spend it for the ops just to entrench. And do I want to entrench in Lomza? Entrench in Lomza and I think Ivangorod. Yeah, these 2 spaces here. So 3+, Warsaw entrenches just in time. And Ivangorod, yeah, Ivangorod, 1 to 3, yes, Ivangorod. This is another important place, because if it gets attacked, Kelsey might fall, but yeah, they can cancel the retreat from there now. All right. Now, what are the Axis forces going to, or the Central Powers going to do? I think I'm going to play. Germans have to attack. 2 turns left. I'd love to keep this, but let's play it for ops. 4 ops. Let's go attack, 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 attack. Attacks along the front here. We've got 16 plus against 10 in a trench. So the trench shifts. Where's the CRT? Here it is. 1 to the left, 1 to the right. I don't think I have any cavalry. Yeah, I didn't bring any German cavalry. Oh, I do have cavalry, so that's a +1 and a +1 for the defender. Okay, so we'll look at 16 goes down to 15 versus 10 goes up to 12 to 14, +1 for each side. CP first. It's a 7. And then the Russians, it's a 7. Devastation. All right, so the Germans, to satisfy this, they're going to have to remove one of the units. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It gets replaced, and I can't meet the 7th, so I ignore it. The Russians, however, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, it's replaced. 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, 5, 6. Just want to hear 7. Okay, 7 on 7. It's a tie, so there's no retreat. But both sides there lost an army, so troop quality for the Russians goes down. Troop quality for the Germans goes down. Okay. Attack done on Warsaw. Down in the south, the attack on Valjevo. We have got 3 defenders. We have got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 attackers. So look at 12 on 3. The 12, because of the mountains, it'll be 12 goes down to 11 minus 1. That's it. Let's see what happens. 12 minus 9 to 11 minus 1 is 4, which is 5 loss factors versus a 3, 3, 2 loss factors. Okay, 5 loss factors is going to hurt the Serbians here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're replaced. 5. They have to retreat 2 spaces, or they can cancel the retreat. I think they'll cancel the retreat and hold there with a core. The Austrians lose just 2, so they will flip over that unit. Okay, but the Serbians hold. Austrians still have not gained any ground in Serbia. All right. Last turn for and that's the German MO complete. That's why they did it up here. Last turn for the Allies, and I think the Serbians are in trouble. What else? Oh, look, let's look at our hand. There might be some events here. I'd love to play. Yes, let's play this. Okay, I'm going to play this for the event. The Allied player receives 3. Oh, you know what? I can't do it. No, I'm going to have to play this for ops. Because I don't want the Serbians to... Yeah, I'm going to have to play this for ops. Very reluctantly. Hold that for next turn at least. So I'm going to do a move. And... a move. And what I'm going to do here is go in, out, to gain control of this area, to put these guys out of supply, okay, which is going to force the Germans to move. Why am I doing that? because it stops the Germans from taking replacements unless they want to lose this unit. I can also entrench with the last unit in that area. 1 to 3, they succeed. So I've got a trench and I gained an area, put Germans out of supply, and I kind of force the German hand. And down here, all I'm doing is pulling this unit back. They can no longer hold there, they'll get wiped out, guaranteed. So by pulling back, it forces the Austrians to spend a turn moving in whilst my small combat unit survives. And the plan is to pull them all back eventually. I'm not going to keep defending them, I'm going to pull back into the mountains, including away from Belgrade. All right, so now it's the Central Powers' turn. And they're like, okay, we'll play Maxen. He's brilliant. Let's find him. He is in their force pool. Mackensen, apologies. Place him on the board with any German supplied large combat unit. Look, I'm going to put him down here look, here we go, right down here with this German reserve unit. Any Central Powers units stacked with the headquarters are activated as one nationality. So basically I can stack him with Austrians. So I can move this unit down here with the Austrians, and the Germans and the Austrians can work together. And I also get 2 ops. And those ops are going to be we'll move, and I will move. All right, so I'm going to go into there, and that core's going to go into there. And up here, I am going to recapture German territory. And I'm going to keep a strong stack up there. So yes, giving Warsaw a bit of a breather. Oh, I feel like I should have attacked Warsaw, but they're going to say weak next turn anyway. I will, however, put a control marker down there to remind myself. All right, so they're no longer out of supply. All right, attrition. There is no attrition. There are no sieges. War status is all okay. No national collapse. No revolutions. No replacements that whole turn. We can discard combat cards if we have any. We don't have any, so we draw new ones. And then end of the turn, advance the turn marker. Oh, I did attack into the mountains, and I completely forgot about winter. All right, so I'm going to leave this marker here because I'm going to save the game. Folks, thank you for watching. 3 turns down. I think the Serbians have done pretty well to hold out in the face of all these Austrian armies. The Russians have captured Przemysl and briefly held Czernowitz, and have invaded, Prussia, German territory. They're holding Warsaw, they're holding their forts. Allies are ahead on victory points, 12, the benchmark is 15, so they're 3 points ahead. Be interesting to see what happens. A lot of German forces coming onto the board. All right, folks, we'll continue soon. Thank you. Goodbye.